Damn it, damn it.
And we are back from our brief technical break. We have died like the servers, but we are back now. Hopefully my internet doesn't die out again. And I'm desperately hoping that Enron hasn't decided to put me on his all-star team coming up, or shooting star team coming up next. But Enron, who is it?
Yes, it is you, Raz.
It's actually.
It's not. It's Artemis. It's Artemis.
Ah, ah, dear. For a second there, I was quite afraid. I was disappointed not to make All Star last season, but if I didn't make All Star this season, um, the PC might have been out of service for a little while. But back into things now. So, who's up next for Nafina or the Saints?
Yes. Hold on now, 1 second. Where are we? Actually, so while I'm going to try and find exactly where I am again, because I think access to my Google Sheets has died, so we may have lost all the picks. 1 second. Let me just say that Artemis, sorry, is a great pickup, and I picked him above players that are actually superior to him just because of his activity level in the Discord. I have found who is up next in the second round. It is just Carrick Dan who's left from the FINA, and Carrick Dan went with Lapsley 96.
Lapsley 96 to be joining Carrick Dan's shooting star team. Was that last pick of the second round?
It was.
Well, I've missed someone. So who was Ryan's second pick then?
Well, Ryan, because he's a manager.
Ah, yes. See, there we go. Right, we figured it out. Ryan will be joining Ryan's shooting star team because
Ryan,
he is a
tell
player
us,
manager.
what made you pick yourself?
Was more forced on anything. Obviously, if I could have had it any other way, I would have just about anybody else on the team. But that's how it be sometimes.
Cool. Right. Now that we're back in order, Rez, let's start off round 3, I think. Yeah? Cool. So
let's
Ryan is actually up next. So Ryan's the Saints team. He has put together the trio that won the most recent Rocket League Ireland Winter Cup, and that is Big Balls Brown to join him and Ruffs, Rez.
Big Balls Brown, the MVP of the Rising Star Finals from last season, has made his way up into the higher division. Ryan, the choice?
Ben basically threatened me. He said it was I'm on your team or you don't have a team. So easy choice again. And the name.
Fair enough.
What's with all the threatening that's going on at RLIS? Has this actually started? Like, Carrick Dan from RLI Weekly, I think we're going to need you to do some investigating after this stream, to be honest.
RLIS is clearly the most corrupt league in the game. Right, okay, moving on.
Yes, Carrick Dan from the FINA, and he has gone with Jay to Prey as his pick in Shooting Star, his final pick.
So, Carrick Dan, you've completed the roster. Clover, Lapsy 96, and now Jay to Pro. Do you think that's a roster that can contend with the top?
I think skill-wise, I've got the best shooting star roster by far. I think there's only one thing to aim for this season, and that's first place.
Well, you didn't manage it last season, so I've got low expectations, but moving on.
Up next is myself from the Gales, and I have gone with... It's not you, Rez, don't worry. It's Joseph. I went with Joseph, the other admin within RLI, as my final pick in Shooting Star this season.
Joseph, haven't seen too much of him recently. I've heard he's been at the bar for the last 6 months or so, but you've completed the roster against the King Artemis and Joseph. Do you think that's a team that can stay sane when they're losing?
We see Gitsy and Joe played IEL briefly last season, so they have a bit of chemistry together. I still think Gitsy is the best player in this division. Parable's probably up there as the real contender with him. But Joe's underrated, I think. And if he stops playing Farming Simulator and grinds this game instead, I think he'll be a solid third.
Certainly. So, Satanta, the Rebels, and the Banshees have to complete their team now. Who have we got up next?
Yeah, LTX Sam is up next from Satanta. Sam, his final pick, he went with Zexel as his final pick, coming into the Shooting Star side of things from Rising Star.
Completing your roster there, Sam, happy with that? So, was he sort of one of the players that you were glad to have left?
I think he's a bit of a steal, to be honest. I think he's a bit underrated in the Discord, so I'm quite pleased to have him. He's quite an old player, I think. Well, I know he's quite solid, so he's a good third.
Good. Just the Rebels and the Banshees to go, and who have we got next?
Yeah, the Rebels Hiccup has decided to go with SBF, the finalist from the Rising Star. My offspring, SBF. I'm so sorry to leave you go. He has joined Hiccup this season as her third with my Power Balloon Junior.
SPF joining Hiccup, and that will complete the Rebels roster of My Parable Junior and SPF. A fairly
That's a
solid roster.
questionable team.
Well
That's a
rounded,
questionable team.
well rounded, but nothing really sort of jumps out to me as being really quality. And who was the final pick in the Shooting Star division? Do you want to reveal it?
Yes, this is actually going to come to a surprise for this person and a lot of people, perhaps.
Get ready.
Hands within the Banshees has gone with Captain Quark as his final pick.
Captain Quark. Your brother. Are you proud of him?
Very. I'll be texting the mother after the stream.
I'm sure she's already tuned in. That's quite alright. Right, Cans, how do you feel about the roster of Faz, Jarian, and Captain Quark?
I think it's a decent enough team. I have heard that Quark has got new internet, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's slightly better.
And slightly better.
It's a good bit better, actually, to be honest.
Could he might be revolutionized? He could be a totally different player. But I think as he'd be a nice third. I think to complement two buys as well. Definitely, I think Fast and Jay Ryan are more stronger duo. But I think Quark himself can fit in nicely there, and the two boys can help him along. So I think I have a decent chance to get into the playoffs anyway in this tier. So
fantastic. Right,
that's
okay.
what I'm
I'll open the floor back up to Character. RLI weekly interviewer. Sorry. Who would you like to sort of question on their decisions in this division?
I have two quick questions for Lovely Cans, another new manager. So, the definition for a banshee is said to be a fairy in Irish legend, and her scream is believed to be an omen of death.
Oh, do you want to hear a scream? Is this?
To be honest, that sounds a lot like you, so I think it fits you perfectly.
Yeah.
How do you feel this Shooting Star draft went?
I think it went very good. I think my first two picks I was really happy with, and with Quark then I think he was again the best from the bunch that I was left to pick with. So I'm really happy with that. And the name of my team really suits me. I will be holding auditions from each player to hear their screams because whoever doesn't have if they don't fit the bill, they're going to get kicked. So
fair enough. So you said there that you're really happy with your first two picks. The pick of Captain Quark surely is an interesting one, and there are rumors going around that he has no mic. Do you think that will help the team?
Yes, I was aware of that, but I think it might. We have to wait and see after the first week, if it hampers the team. But I'm confident that the boys can get over that, and it'll be all right.
Well, based off of Captain Quark's history, it might actually help them. All right, that's it from me.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Character and Lovely Cans, for that brief interview. I've been told that I'm now to hand over to Dictator of RLI Enrong for a LAN announcement.
Yeah, thanks, Rez. So, guys, quick little thing before we get into the All-Star, draft. Don't forget, LAN, of course, is happening at the end of this month above in Ballymena, taking place on the 29th of February. Don't forget, you must register in the form linked in announcements. You're probably going to have to go up a little bit now to find it at this stage. You also need to PayPal me €30 per person to play at the LAN. We've got 10 teams at the moment. Let's try and bring that up to 12 or maybe even 14. We have the room to use or to have more teams. So, it would be much appreciated. Make sure you don't leave your accommodation too late either. And, make sure you have your lift sorted. And, it's going to be a cracking LAN, I think. The equipment there is phenomenal, and the guys are really, really... They're trying to work with us with everything we've done so far. So, we're really looking forward to it. And that's essentially it, Rez. I hope everyone in the chat looks to come to LAN.
Well, that is fantastic, Enrong. We are running short on time, so we're going to get straight back into the draft. We've now got All-Star, the top division of the league. And the one I'm going to be in, hallelujah. Enrong, do you want to start us off in All-Star, please?
Yeah, we actually banned you from this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's start off. First pick in All-Star. So, the highest rated pick in All-Star this season He was the MVP from last season, winning RLIS. He has won many, many, many tournaments online, but never yet in LAN environment. But when it comes to online, he's probably the best there is. Red Eyes. Ryan has picked him up for the Saints.
Red Eyes picked
Oh.
up by Ryan. That is a huge pick from him, and he was sort of the carry of his team last season. That was fantastic. So, Ryan, looking forward to see more of that this season from you, man.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of saw that one coming. You know, they call him Tier 1 Ryan. Basically, he's won everything there is to win online, and I think he constantly makes people around him a better player, so good things only.
Good stuff. Up next, Enron.
Yep, Carrick Dan from Nafina. Dan has gone with multiple LAN winner and reigning Irish 12 Titans champion Dylan, aka Mug, which is a better name by the way, as his pick.
Yeah, definitely go by the name of Mug. So just leave it like that. But yeah, Mug is arguably the best player in RLIS. You know, Red Eyes obviously being the MVP is a strong. You could make a strong case for him, but I think Mug is going to impress everyone this season, and that's why I picked him.
Good, good. Up next, who's the third pick in All Star?
Yep, it is myself.
Oh, so it's Panda. Cool.
From the Gales, and it is not Panda. I went with a person who comprehensively outclassed us every time we played them.
So me.
And for me, he was the second best player in All Star last season. He may have had a tough final, but he played excellent all the way through, and I went with Jaffa as my first pick.
Jaffa picked up by Enron. Very interesting one.
That
Disbelief.
is interesting.
Disbelief. Can someone explain their sort of reason to be so confused?
Yeah, well, they can explain their reasons confused, but I'm going to retort to them because I think it's very... I mean, his team made the final, and I think they had a weaker third, but that third actually is a pretty good, backup player to what Pengu and Jaffa were. But anyway, go on, Sam.
I mean, the
Express your
shooting in that
disbelief. Your
final
third
is the
questionable.
first thing that comes to mind.
Jaffa, he talked crap about you behind your back. JK.
I think Jaffa is a really good player. He hasn't shown it yet at lands really, but
No,
I
I think he's a very good player, but I don't think he's like fourth and third. But it's fine. It's fine.
I think he's better than some of the other picks that people made in the first round. Not better, I don't think, than Ryan and Dan's one, but I think everyone below him, except maybe pickups, I think he's better than. Yeah, from what I've seen, he's a better player than them.
Cool. The fourth pick of the All Star draft.
Yes, Hiccup comes up next for the Rebels, and she went with Pengu as her pick in the first round.
Well, we already know that Pengu and Jaffa, the sort of dynamic duo from the finals last season, have been split up. Hiccup picking up Pengu for her Rebels All Star roster. Definitely a solid pick. I think we can all agree that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say on this one. Maybe Dan and Ryan can maybe get involved with this one, but for me, Pengu is one of the best ones players. He's one of the best twos players. Maybe a little bit more shaky in threes, but last season he made the final, so he must be doing good in it.
I think personally that Pengu is like top tier ones and twos, and even if his threes aren't as good as some of the others picked in round one, I think the other two game modes like definitely make up for that. And even in threes, you're getting a weapon, so I think it's a good pick.
Good.
And Ryan?
I haven't seen much of Pengu, to be honest. I saw the final, and I know you said that you liked what you saw out of Jaffa. I personally thought Pengu was the best player for Celtic Tigers throughout that whole series, but obviously Jaffa not far behind.
Good stuff. So Tanta and the Banshees still needing their first pick. Who's up next?
Yeah, Cans from the Banshees has picked up Panda as his first pick.
Panda switching sides over to the Banshees. Cans will definitely be happy with that. Panda potentially less so, but Cans, please with your first pick.
Oh, extremely. He could be on the fence on that, but I had to. Well, I had to pick I had to pick my Candemonium teammate. Brilliant! We're gonna wreck twos, boy. Like it's already set in stone, boys. Like it's easy. Yeah. So really happy. He can tolerate me, so I think we'd be all right.
Based on what I saw from a clip that he sent me, I don't think you'll be wrecking
Shut
more
up!
than twos.
I was lagging. I swear to God, I was lagging.
Good
I
stuff.
had 400 ping. You can.
Who was Sam's first pick of the draft then?
Yeah, Sam went with Mayday as his first pick. The last pick of round 1.
Mayday, with God knows how many Ys will make it into Sam's All-Star roster. A good pick, would you say, Sam?
I mean, I was amazed that I got him before. I was surprised that Jaffa and Panda got picked before him. I think he's underrated, and just because of a bad season and one bad season in RLIS, I think a lot of people are just basing it off that. So I'm very happy with it.
Good stuff. Mayday, the 1900 ranked warrior. But who starts off the second round for us, then?
So, firstly, me, Cans, and Sam are all managers. You can put that down there now. I have a question to ask of Sam, though. Do you really think picking Mayday is a good idea? No, I love Mayday, and I think he's a good player. But based off the fact that he had Jakey as his second last season, so him and Jakey are 2 really good players, I would say. And they finished bottom of the division, if you exclude the team that left. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think you have to take things like form and other factors into account. And at the end of the day, it's a 3-player team, and I don't think Mayday should be singled out for that just because he's the top player on that team.
Sure.
Good stuff. So, alright, we've got Enron and LTX Sam and Lovely Cans all confirmed for the second round. So, the Rebels, Nafina, and the Saints all have to confirm their second player. Who have we got?
Yeah, so Hiccup goes first in round 2. So, the Rebels, Hiccup has gone with Spectre as her pick in round 2.
Spectre, an interesting pick. I don't know too much about him. Can anyone else sort of shed some light on how good he is?
Yeah, he's actually really good ranked wise. 1700 in both 2s and 3s. He's grand champion in 1s. She picked him up for his 1s because he's one of the highest rated 1s players in this. So it's actually not a surprising pick at all when you look at the numbers. He's one of the highest there was.
I rate him.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a very good player. I played with him recently and he's decent.
Yep, picking for versatility, Hiccup, making sure that her players are good in all 3 of the game modes, and Nafina or the Saints. Who have we got next?
Yep, so Nafina, Carrick Dan has gone with Arctic as his second.
Arctic. He's been out of action for most of this year, but he is back now on Xbox, I do believe. But he's been performing well in ranked. I know Q snapping you a few times, and Dan, happy with that?
Well, looked like he might be a console noob, but the Arctic that I know and love, and that I subbed to on Twitch about a year ago, is definitely a player to behold. So, you know what? Mug and Arctic together, I'm happy.
Fair enough. So, the final pick of round 2 for the All-Star Division, Enron.
Ryan has got some questions to answer for this one. Ryan, I think you do. Ryan from the Saints has gone with Little Dude as his pick.
Little
There you go, Ryan. Can start laughing already.
Little Dude, a player who was in the lower division last season. How have you do you think he can make the step up to the All-Star draft?
Well, there was questions in the manager chat whether he should be allowed to be retained. So clearly, I'm not the only person who thinks he's a all-star material. But I think as this draft goes on, that pick will become less laughable. I don't think there was many names left, and I spotted 2 names who I thought would work well together, as you'll see with my pick coming up. So that was the thinking behind it.
Good. So we're moving into the third round of picks. Just 6 players left in the draft. Let's finish this one off now, Enron.
Cool. So LTX Sam next, and Sam from Satanta has gone with Lucra, a very questionable pick.
Lucra, operator or moderator or something of RLI, staff member to say the least. Do you think his sort of administrational capabilities can help out your team, Sam?
So I understand why there's questions around this pick because it's a very similar roster to last season, which didn't go that well for them. But you could argue that players like Mulholland and such should have been picked before him, but I think Luke was the more consistent choice.
Yeah, I think
whereas Mull has very cold days.
Yeah, I think you could definitely argue that the sort of the best player easily in shooting star last season, Rez, should have made it ahead of him, but that's totally subjective. Moving on, who's the next pick?
Cans from the Banshees has picked you up.
Has he?
So you, Panda, and Cans as a team.
I have to be honest, I don't mind that team at all. I'm sure Panda would hate it. I'm going to start stealing his clips again like I did
No,
with
he's
us.
probably going to start messaging you for CS now. We're on stream, Panda.
Yeah, we had to get the CS trio by in. It was just for the memes, Rez. We just had to do it like.
Fair enough. I can respect that. Right, okay. 4 players left. Who's up next?
Yeah, I'm for Nagales. I picked up Cannon to team him with Jaffa again this season.
And Cannon showing up well last season, that's for sure. Especially in the final, really stepped up to sort of keep what was the Celtic Tigers in the tournament last season. Do you think he'll round out your roster well? So obviously the chemistry already there with himself and Jaffa.
Yeah, well, I get on well with Jaffa. And I mean, Cannon played with him last season, and they got to the final, and it wasn't purely based off of threes, or twos or ones. I do think I am a step down in Pengu. I'm not afraid to admit that. And I would say we're probably one of the weakest rosters, but with Jaffa there, anything is possible because, this team made the final last season, and if I can play to the level of Cannon, I still think we can make top 4.
Definitely. Right, okay, 3 players left. Who's up next?
Yeah, Ryan from the Saints has gone with Aiden to partner a little dude, bringing up 2 of the Shooting Star players to team up with Red Eyes.
Dan, obviously, you've picked up 2 players who were in the lower division Ryan, you've picked up 2 of the players who were in the lower division last season. Do you think that's a wise choice?
I don't think there was very much left in the way of choosing. I know Aiden's recently had a big drop in MMR, so I'm hoping maybe that inspires him to start grinding the game, get his MMR back. And obviously he has experience playing a whole season with Little Dude already, so there's chemistry there.
Good stuff. 2 players to go. I'm assuming one will be Mulholland and one will be... I don't know, right.
Wait.
Reveal it.
Yes. Okay, so Carrick Dan has gone with Linsk as his pick for Nafina.
Who?
Linsk?
Linz.
Never heard of him?
I've never heard of him. Dan?
Either have I, but Dan has found another gem probably by the looks of it.
Well, listen here, this boy goes to NUIG, and that's all I needed to know. As soon as I heard it, I was just ready to go away. So, Linsk, if you want, we can meet up at the student bar for a fucking good time. So, anyway, yeah, I picked him, and he's a 1600 level player, so he's a good head between his shoulders. Like, we'll see what happens.
Fantastic. And the last player, Hiccup, and she'll presumably round out her all-star roster with either Walshy, D-Mox, J.O. Shallow, something like that. Who is it?
No. It's Mulholland. Yeah, Mulholland makes it in as the last player in All-Star for Season 2. Hiccup brought him in, of course, and I'm sure that she has her reasons with the formula calculator to bring him in, so we'll see how he does.
Certainly. So that is going to round out the all-star picks. Is that is there anyone here who sort of wants to speak more about their choices that they made?
How about we do this first? We get Dan to do his interview, and then we can do final predictions and thoughts. How's that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Dan might have to go, I think he said. I don't know.
Dan, who do you want to interview for the all-star picks?
Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you as long. I only have one question, and it's for the Irish Stalin himself, Enron. So going by the reactions of the people here, Jaffa was quite a controversial pick. So what made you pick him in favour of someone like, let's say, a D-Mox or a J.O. or a Walshy?
Well, firstly, he's good. Secondly, he's not a retard. And thirdly, he's just a nice person, and I kind of like Jaffa. And yeah, he's just really respectful. There's not really much else to say. When you play with Jaffa, things are relaxed, nice, casual. When you play with Shallow, you lose your hair. That's really all I can say about that one.
Fair enough, right. So we're going to get into the very last segment.
I'm joking, by the way, for Shallow, because I know Shallow will lose it.
Alright, okay. Let's just... We're running a little bit late here. We'll end the stream shortly, but has anyone got sort of final predictions for this upcoming season?
I guarantee I'll either come first place or last.
I guarantee you're going to come last.
Yeah, I guarantee you're going to come last. I think
I'll start. Cans, I don't think you've got a very strong all-star team. I mean,
I'm going to make at least 2 finals.
We've actually got 10 minutes to work with, so how about we actually ask, constructive questions, right?
Yeah. Okay.
How about this one, right? I've one for, for Cans, really. Cans, you partnered up yourself and Panda and Rez.
Yes.
So 2 CSGO mains and a guy who prefers to go around and teabag people in Overwatch. What is your thoughts here? Why would you do that?
Productive questions.
No, I think we are very underrated, definitely. Like people think we're just going to be push over us, but like we are questionable, but we can create upsets. Believe me, you know. I think our trees chemistry, like I think trees we actually work really well and we have fun, like so that just makes it even a lot easier. But nah, like my big goal is beat Sam, and then half the job is done, and the rest is just make playoffs.
Didn't
So
go well for you, Alan.
what? Say that air. Sorry. Shut up, you. Can't even fucking admin a line. Go ahead, go ahead. Mog. Don't even talk. Oh wait. Nah.
Fan.
No, I think we have a good chance. But I think yeah, the Ryan's team is Red Eyes, is it? Red Eyes is on Ryan's team, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, his other his two teammates, it's kind of from last season, like Red Eyes is the strongest player trying to carry two questionable players. So it'll be interesting to see if he can do it for the second season. Dan's team with Morgan Art, it could be very good, and linked or whatever, so that could be one of the tough teams in this.
Sure.
But yeah, your team is very good as well. Actually, it's all about whether you show up or not.
He's talking to you, Sam.
No, it's you. No,
I,
it's you.
I,
I'm
I
talking to
don't
you,
think
Rob.
he is, mate.
No, you're not. You're not.
No. I think it's going to be a right old scrap.
Fair.
Like a
enough.
junior
I do love scraps. D-Mox, I'm still waiting for you to respond to my by the way.
Man, I can't wait
right.
for a scrap.
Chris has a question,
I
man.
do just want to ask a question to all the managers. Across the three divisions, Kans, I'll start with you. Who was your easiest pick across the three divisions?
Oh, like my easiest pick that I picked up, like.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
easiest one, decision.
Oh yeah. I'd probably say either Bass or Fast. Nah, it was Panda, of course. What are you on about? Jesus Christ! Like it's definitely Panda.
Cool.
Panda,
Easy.
easiest pick. And same question to you, Ryan.
I know a lot of people are expecting to say Red Eyes, but I'm gonna be humble and go with myself. Didn't get much easier.
Very, very respectable, and same to you, Dan.
Listen, this is going to be really easy. Like, I'm going to make at least 2 finals, and I'll probably win both of them. You know, Rising Star is a project team, if anything. So, they're going to have a good season, but they're not going to wow anyone. But yeah, listen, it's going to be easy enough.
So,
Then
who's
that's
your
the question.
who's your easiest pick?
No, that's the whole thing
Okay,
was
fair
very
enough.
easy. The whole
Fair
thing was
enough.
incredibly easy. Like,
Obviously Hiccup isn't here. Sam, obviously, who was your easiest pick to make throughout the draft?
Probably Llama.
Adequate
then-
Llama, interesting.
Adequate Llama, yeah.
Very interesting. And Enrong, easiest pick.
Good. Gitsy King should have been an all-star. He's better than some of those players in round 3.
Oh, God.
Oh, Rez. Oh,
Rob, would you like
oh.
to name who?
Oh, Rez. Oh.
I am going to keep that to my team, but Gitsy is the best player in Shooting Star. The only player that's close to him on real pure talent and ability is my Parable. But that's just my thinking. He won. He got MVP. So his game record speaks for itself last season. Although I would say Rez here is a better threes player than Gitsy. Gitsy is the best game record because he was winning 1s and 2s games. But anyway.
I think it's Mon
Yeah.
Holland.
Very cool. Inversely, I just want to go back down the order. Who is the hardest choice to make? Where you sort of split between two different
Oh.
players.
Oh,
Enrong, I'll start with you.
Artemis was the hardest for me. And I'll tell you why. It's not because I don't rate Artemis or anything like that. It's because of the way the draft went. Basically, everyone got a GC level player roughly in round 1 in Shooting Star. And then in round 2, Can, Hiccup, and Sam all got basically GC level players. And I had to basically make a decision between Jay Dupre, who is probably a GC level player, but he's inactive as shit, or have someone who's really active and actually wants to grind the game and get better at it. And it was a tough decision, but I went with what I've seen works, which is hard work, dedication, and activity.
Good words of wisdom from Enrong there. But I'll take Sam, hardest pick.
by far Luica. Because it was between him and about 6 other people. The likes of Aiden, my Powerball, Mulholland. I'm amazed didn't get picked earlier, but I was really between him, Luca, and Mulholland because I was nervous about having the same roster as the famous 5th place that Mayday and Luca did last time. So I mean, but I went with I didn't really trust Mulder to turn up consistently on the day.
Fair enough. Same question to, obviously we'll skip over Hiccup. Dan, hardest pick?
Hardest pick was probably Jay to Prey because I don't doubt his skill. I think he's had GC multiple times. I think his availability is going to be the one. Last season, I think he caused a lot of headaches for John. But listen, there's going to be no headaches this season. I won't let that happen. So
I'm glad we're keeping to a nice family-friendly PG stream. Right, okay. Ryan, who is your hardest pick?
I would say probably Aiden,
Aiden.
just because of, like I mentioned earlier, the drop, and there was obviously players I would consider to be similar level around who were available, like Mulholland or the likes. So it was a tough one.
Good, good. Finally, Lovely Cans, hardest player to pick and why?
I don't really think I had a hardest pick. Maybe Quark, but that was just because of the mic issue. Like, but he said he did say in the chat that he will have one next week. But like, I think it's just the way the draft fell for me. Like, it was easier to make a final pick for me, like a final pick for my Rising and Shooting Star team. So I don't really think I had a really hard time. Maybe one of the Rising Stars, but like,
sorry to cut on any cans, but
Yeah,
I just
no,
want to
of course.
stress. I just want to stress that for my picks, like I don't think I could say one of them was hard. Like I was very hard after all of my picks.
for God's sake!
Right.
Well,
Okay,
closing comments.
I'm gonna round it off with
Oh my God,
question
Dan.
that was actually me and Ryan were talking about. Let's just try and keep this a bit more serious. In my opinion, Rising Stars level has gone up slightly. Shooting Stars dropped significantly, and All Stars dropped a bit. Would you agree with that assessment, Kens?
I definitely think Rising Star has increased a lot last season. All Star definitely has dropped out because of the people banned, and some of the people who came from Shooting Star up to All Star are kind of on the cusp. Like they're on the fence on that level. So yeah, I would agree with that statement. Definitely.
Fair
Cool.
enough. Has any other manager got any sort of closing comments to make before we end off the stream?
No, I just want to reiterate what Dan and Ryan very intelligently said earlier on, which is be active with your teams. Don't just be active with your own tier. If you be active, if you don't buy into this, it's not going to be, worthwhile. The managers want to see it as well. Like, I mean, Ryan, I think you're actually a manager in real life of a team. Like, you want to see everyone buying into like a philosophy, and it actually does pay dividends when everyone like keeps an eye on and has that actual interest in the other tiers. It actually like makes things a lot better, I think. So yeah, and the other thing the guy said as well was just stream a lot. Don't be afraid to stream your games unless you're planning on getting 6-0 by me.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for watching the stream. This has been the RLIS draft. I'm Rez. I've been joined by Enron, LTX Sam, Lovely Cans, Carrick, Dan, and Ryan. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.